Have you ever reflected on the possibility that he has already forgotten you? That he has genuinely turned the page, starting a new chapter in his life, and that everything you shared is now relegated to the past? You might think that if he ever had feelings for you, he no longer cares. It's a common thought, and, unfortunately, many women make the mistake of interpreting silence as a clear lack of interest, distance as a signal of forgetting, and apparent tranquility as a sign of moving on. However, it is crucial to understand that the male emotional reality is much more complex than it may seem at first glance. Not all pain manifests itself obviously. Not every absence should be interpreted as indifference. Some men, for example, never cry in front of you but shed tears in moments of solitude when they are away from others' gazes. There are men who may block you on social media but continue searching for your name online. Men who claim to be fine, but their behavior, every post, every silence, and every excessively happy gesture may represent a way to hide what they are truly experiencing. Male pain often tends to remain buried and is expressed through behaviors that may appear contradictory or nonsensical to women. In reality, these behaviors are sophisticated forms of emotional defense. When a man suffers in silence, he does not express it with strong words or evident manifestations. He only lets his emotions slip to those who know how to observe carefully. This distinction represents a key difference between the pain of men and that of women. Imagine they are speaking in a secret code, hoping someone else can decipher their emotions. In this context, I want to show you the 7 silent signals a man exhibits when the pain of losing you is still very present in his life. However, it is important to emphasize that he will never tell you, because his pride does not allow him to, or because you are no longer there to listen to him. But despite this, his body, his energy, and his gestures already tell a story. First signal. He talks about you with others, but avoids doing so directly with you. When a man has truly closed a chapter in his life, he does not feel the need to discuss you with anyone, not even in jest. He turns you into a silence, into a memory that belongs to the past. But when you still hurt him, when there is something inside him that he has not resolved, he mentions you, but never seeks you out. This represents a clear and precise signal. You might find out through a mutual friend or hear someone say that he has asked about you. You might even notice that he has mentioned you indirectly in a story or a post and wonder, why doesn't he message me directly? Why can't he do it? Something inside him holds him back from taking that step. It's as if his heart desires to communicate, but his mind has put a lock on it. The vulnerability of approaching you directly is too risky and exposed for him. So he seeks indirect ways to keep you present in his emotional world. His emotion seeks an outlet, and since he cannot say it to you, he confides it to others. When a man still feels something for you, even if he denies it, he starts to vent to friends and acquaintances, talking about what was and what has hurt him. This is one of the most common mechanisms of male grief, to articulate out loud what he cannot close inside himself. You continue to be part of his conversation, even if he claims to have moved on. He needs external validation to understand his own feelings. By talking about you with others, he is not just venting, but trying to make sense of what he has experienced, finding answers to questions he cannot even formulate. In every discussion about you, he is attempting to reconstruct the story in a way that allows him to move on. Don't interpret it as a signal to run to him. Rather, consider it as a confirmation that he is not yet at peace, and if you are already growing, You don't need to insist. Just observe. The pain that expresses itself indirectly is often the heaviest to bear. Second signal. He avoids you in person, but doesn't stop observing you. There is a type of silence that is not indifference, but a form of protection. A man, when he still feels something, chooses not to get close, but at the same time cannot stop watching you. If you have been part of his life, if you have left an emotional footprint, you have probably already noticed this signal. He doesn't talk to you, doesn't seek you out, doesn't initiate anything. But if you are in the same place, in the same room, or if you walk past him, you perceive his presence. You feel that he is watching you, even if he pretends not to be interested. He avoids direct eye contact. He turns away when you might notice him, but when you are not looking, he studies you. This behavior does not imply a lack of interest, but rather a fear of facing you. The distance is not a punishment, but a strategy to protect his heart from possible vulnerability. So, if you see him avoiding you, but know he is watching you, don't chase him, don't confront him, don't ignore him with disdain. Stay present, calm, and respectful, because in your calmness, he perceives the echo of everything he still cannot let go of. Your emotional stability in these moments becomes a mirror that shows him both what he has lost and what he could still find. Third signal. He excessively shows that he is doing better than ever. You might notice him posting smiling photos, motivational quotes and messages like, "Everything happens for a reason," "I am my priority," or simply but happy. He goes out with friends, appears active, and takes better care of himself than in the past. Responds to your stories with indifference, and everything seems to indicate that he has already moved on from you. However, there is a forced energy in every post. That smile might seem more like a suppressed cry than a true emotion. When a man suffers in silence, he often does not shut himself away in his sadness. The mask tries to convince himself and others that he is fine. And to do so, he wants you to believe in this facade too. Every post, every story, and every visual message is not for his followers. It is for you. If you are watching, he wants to make sure that you see how happy he is without you. This behavior is a silent cry. Look how well I am without you. But every cry carries with it a hidden request for you to notice him, for you to recognize his effort, for you to understand that he still exists for you. Fourth signal. He contradicts himself and reacts excessively. A man at peace responds with clarity, coherence, and serenity. However, when a man suffers and cannot express it, his emotions begin to manifest in uncontrollable ways. He blocks you, then unblocks you, messages you, and then regrets it. He ignores you for days, then responds to you with coldness or sarcasm. He posts indirect phrases, deletes you, and then follows you again. This behavior is the result of an internal conflict. On one side, the rational part that says, "Let her go." On the other, the emotional part that whispers, "But you still need her." This is not mental instability, but rather unprocessed emotional grief. He feels vulnerable, and, since he cannot admit that he is suffering, he reacts in ways that seem excessive or contradictory, and you become the target of that emotional storm, not because you deserve it, but because you still occupy a space inside him. Fifth signal. He posts content on social media that seems specifically designed for you. Even though he doesn't talk to you, he starts posting stories more frequently, photos where he looks fit, songs that seem to carry a hidden message, phrases that evoke your past. When a man suffers for you in silence, Social media becomes his emotional channel. It is there that he expresses everything he cannot say directly, and he does so with the perfect excuse. It's not for you, even though you both know it is. If he didn't want you to see it, he simply wouldn't show it. And you are there observing, feeling, and probably he also notices your reaction, even if you don't like it. Why does he do it? He needs to know that he still stirs something in you, that he still has an impact, and that his presence lives in your mind. Sixth signal. He blocks you, then unblocks you, disappears, and then reappears. You might find yourself checking his profile and discovering you have been blocked, and after a few days, the block might disappear without warning. This behavior marks an internal conflict. Even though he doesn't know if he wants you to be present in his life, he also doesn't want you to be completely absent. This emotional ambivalence is a deep signal of unexpressed pain. Someone who has truly moved on does not need to block and unblock continuously. Someone who is still suffering cannot let you go. Seventh signal. He doesn't seek you out, but he doesn't allow anyone else to take your place. You might think he has forgotten you, that he is with someone else, that his life has moved on. However, in silence, he cannot bond with anyone. It's not that he doesn't have options. It's not that he isn't sought after. It's that no one makes him feel what he felt with you. This situation frustrates him because he wants to move on. He wants to feel free, but every attempt to do so leads him to compare every new person to you. His apparent coldness and distance are not signs of forgetting. They are manifestations of an internal struggle.